Another episode of the Houston Comedy Film Festival Uncut, and I am here with Eytan and Daniel, and they are the finalists for Best Dark Comedy. And say what's up, guys.
Hello.
How's it going? We're very good at this.
You're very, very good at this. Wait, introduce yourself and say where you're from, guys, because you're kind of like you're kind of like badasses.
Eytan, why don't you start?
Sure. My name's Eytan Millstone. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I've been living in New York since January of 2013.
January 2013.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm Dan Bricker, also from Toronto, and I've been living in New York since 2008. And funny story, Eytan and I both from the same city, have never seen each other in the same city or had any kind of Canadian dealings together. We've only done things in New York together.
Yes, we met in New York, and we have a deal that we'll never hang out in Toronto unless it's at TIFF.
What? Wait, how did you guys meet? I'm so curious. How did you guys meet?
We met on set for we both work in production, so we met on set in like 2015 on a crime reenactment show on the Discovery ID network. I was in the art department laying blood all over random floors, and Dan was the sound mixer.
Yeah, I was recording sound for 4 seasons of this show, which was a little ragtag bunch of people trying to make a recreation show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Something that I think will be cool for anyone that hasn't had a chance to see it. What do you think about if I share a screen and I show your trailer?
Go, sure.
We're down.
What you think?
Yeah,
So
sure.
let me go ahead and do it. I
Share
figured
that screen, Roselyn.
let me share that screen. So to steps, here we go. Quality is just hold up. Share. Can y'all see my screen just yet or no?
No.
Not yet? Okay. Share. What about now?
It looks like it's kind of low.
It says you've.
There we go. There we go.
You can see it?
I can see your screen.
Flights at 4. I land at 9. I should be in a hot tub with a cocktail by 10. Okay. And then you're not going to hear from me for like 6 weeks. 10,000 steps. It's not even 10 a.m. yet. 28,000 steps. If I wasn't going to Costa Rica today, I'd beat my record.
Next to it is a timer. It's simple. Every 24 hours, you're only permitted to take 50 steps. If you take more than 50 steps, you'll be punished.
Get off on this.
Before Fitbits, people used to just come home after a long day, put their feet up and go, man, I'm tired. I must have walked a lot today.
I love it.
I wasn't sure if the sound of the music wasn't coming through on my end. I'm not sure if.
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot, but that's okay. I mean, it looked cool.
Shut up. Y'all cannot hear. I'm going to be so upset if this thing is not playing.
It's okay. It's a silent film.
Yeah.
So it works well.
Shut up. So y'all are just looking at my facial expression.
You look.
I mean, I saw the thing. I saw the video and I heard some of it. Did you hear that, Dan? It was like.
Yeah, I heard some of the dialogue, none of the music or sound effects, though.
Yeah.
Okay. After we're done with all this, I'm going to make sure it matches up because that's going to
drive me. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
But like, first of all, let me just say, amazing quality, amazing quality.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna give you the moment. Can you both brag on yourselves and tell everybody about your backgrounds? Because when you look at this,
So
is
hard
like
for
a
Canadians to
multi-million-dollar
do.
Yeah,
production.
Canadians don't know how to brag, actually.
We
just
know how to
know
profusely apologize. It's about
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I give most of the credit for how good it looks to Dan. I come from more of the writing, performing background. I know my way around a shot list and how to tell a story visually, but
That's important, though. That's very important.
yeah. I mean, it sort of makes a good partnership. Dan went to
Yes.
film school. Oftentimes we were on set and someone would ask a question and I would just turn and look at Dan and go, film school, film school.
We also had a wonderful DP, Alex Peterson, who's also he's just a good friend, and he did us a very kind favor. He's like an Emmy award winning cinematographer, and he was just kind enough to come and lend so much of his lighting and stylistic expertise. So it was great, and a great production designer who we built that whole set, so that was a big part of it.
The production is absolutely amazing. Can you tell the audience about the background? Because I know you wrote about it, but like, go ahead and just tell everybody that's watching just the process behind the scenes.
I mean, I told Dan, I was like, this idea has been kicking around for a while. And like, when we talked about like a writer-director partnership and making a short that was sort of like here's our calling card. We'll put some money into like a solid short, and then we'll hopefully use that to, attract some attention, get money for a feature or whatever, which is obviously everyone's plan. But I was like, yeah, but this could be like a really simple one. It's like one actor in one location, basically.
Mhm.
And then of course, and we liked the idea and it was like really fleshed out. But of course, as you start kind of going into it, you're like, oh, like, all right, like this is going to be extremely complicated. And, if you're in one place for a long time, you don't want to just sort of show it in the same way. So it becomes a question of like, how do you shoot it in a way where it feels like it's different, even though you're sort of spending the bulk of the movie in one place with one guy. So, and then of course there was this whole like we're counting the steps, or at least doing our best to count the steps, and knowing that we'll be able to edit a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't want to stay as true to the premise and the plot as possible. So it was but it was very fun. I mean, because there was no real deadline for it, it sort of allowed us to just spend as much time as we needed to really prepare for it and not kind of rush into it. So we had thoughts of like, oh, we can maybe shoot it in the summer. And then I kind of got pushed back and we shot it in November and said, look, if no one's asking for this, it's insane to rush it. So gave us time to kind of, sit with it and play with it. And my friend owns a pretty awesome studio in Red Hook in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So he kind of gave us a really good deal on the space for a few days. And his wife is like a really good she's not like really a production designer by trade, but she's got a great eye. So she kind
That
of
matters.
yeah, so she kind of was like, look, they kind of live above the studio, and they were like, I think we can like kind of design this for you and do what you need. So it kind of all came together with like, it's one of those like passion projects that we put some money into, obviously, but also got a lot of favors to make this thing at probably a 50% discount,
Yeah, and then also a big part of it was trying to find the right lead character and the actor to play. And, that just took some time. Like we just found it just really like we knew the guy we wanted, and just kind of tracking him down was the hardest part of getting involved with the film, and we finally did.
What did you love the most about him?
It was actually a friend of ours who ended up ADing our film. He was like, "This is the guy you want." He's like a pretty famous Instagram and TikTok comedian and a stand-up comedian and wonderful actor. But he was like, "This is the guy for the short." And I was like, and then as soon as Eytan and I saw him, we were like, "We have to find this guy." And it just took a few months to kind of track this guy down.
Yeah.
Yeah, funnily enough, I'm a comic as well, and he is like good friends with all of my friends, but we kind of missed each other in New York and he was in LA. So I'm like messaging this guy on Instagram and like trying to find him through his website, and nothing is working. And then I was talking to a friend, kind of pitching him on the project. Like he could also maybe have played the part, but we really wanted Evan. And my friend was like, well, out of curiosity, like, he's like, I'm not really an actor, but I think I could do this. And I like the premise, but who did you have in mind for it? And I was like, oh, do you know Evan Williams? And he's like, yeah, I'm having a phone call with him later today. So I was like, oh my God, can you put me in touch? So he put me in touch and we were able to get him the script. And luckily he really liked the script and was down to just kind of come. We flew him out from LA for it. We shot over 4 days and he was pretty much down to just come for the price of a plane ticket and just play the part. And
Wow.
so, you know, like I act. So when I talked to Dan about doing this, I said like worst case scenario, I could play this part. You know, he's kind of this fast talking, crazy guy, whatever. And I could pull that off if we need to, but ideally I don't want to act in this thing that we're directing. We both want to be able to just sit behind the camera and really focus on telling the story as directors.
Yeah.
And when then we saw this video our friend showed us of this guy on TikTok doing like how they make A24 films. And he's just like fast talking, he's jacked, it's like this part was written for him before we even knew he existed. And then when he read it, he was like, I am this guy and I can crush this part. So it kind of like all came together really nicely. It felt like it was sort of meant to be, not to be super cheesy, but it definitely
No, it
felt like this was meant to happen with this guy.
That's important because even though you may have the perfect script and everything on paper sounds nice, when you start putting teams together and you start actually working, it's like, oh, maybe we need to adjust some things.
Yeah, we told this guy multiple times after we started editing the short, like that we could have done all like you just said, like the script could be there, the idea could be there. We had a great DP, we had all this stuff, but essentially this movie is his face for 19 minutes and he needs to really sell the drama, he needs to be extremely unlikable, he needs to grow he needs to do a lot with sometimes not a lot of dialogue. And if he didn't kill it, this thing would have fallen flat on its face, no matter how much editing and, you know, sound design or whatever you do to something like this. He really killed it. When we sent it to this composer, a friend of mine who's a great composer, to score it, and he scored it for us.
Mhm.
And he sent me a message while scoring it saying, look, I've watched this thing now like 20 times because that's what you do when you're scoring a project. And he's like, I am still not bored of this guy's performance. Like, please tell this guy, Evan Williams, the star of it, that he really knocked this out of the park. So, you know, I mean, he made it better than we thought it could be.
And it's kind of a tall, it's kind of a tall order to, no, you're gonna, it's kind of a tall order to make a character that you love to hate, but then also end up having empathy for at the end, for both sides, both characters at the end. And that was kind of one of our biggest challenges. And both our actors for that stuff just kind of knocked it out of the park. But honestly, not that much direction. They just kind of knew the part and knew Eytan did a great job sort of writing the script, the first draft of it. And we really didn't do many notes from there. We just kind of like tweaked things. It was great.
I love that. It seems as though your entire team worked together cohesively, almost like a little unit as a family.
Yeah, has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you plan on doing more projects together as a team? And like, what's next? That's what I am curious about.
Yeah, Eytan and I just did a writing retreat up in Vermont, and we fleshed out an entire idea for a feature, like just over a 20-page outline. And yeah, we're just really excited about getting that project going. So it's a very early stages, obviously, but yeah, hopefully people like this movie, and then we can kind of start, using that as a seed to start getting some hopefully funding for the next project. But a feature is next for sure.
You hope people will like it. Okay, I think we all just saw the trailer, but we'll let them be the judges of everything, and they can decide. And I will definitely. There's another question I wanted to ask you. It was. Yeah. Like, I will speak for myself, and I know I just realized I didn't even introduce myself. Goodness gracious! But like on camera, my name is Roselyn Omaka, and I am the new director of the Houston Comedy Film Festival. And I am super excited because I come from a different world that's not typically in the media space. I come from the technology space of Apple, and back when we had the very first iPhone, where we barely had apps on the App Store, and yeah, suddenly just from starting my podcast with Life Changing, and my brother was like, you should start your podcast. And I figured, let me talk to really cool friends that have interesting stories. And then that's when some of those calls started coming from Hollywood people, my friends that I know. So like my friend Courtney Glade, he sold his movie to BET.
Nice.
So he's working with Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry right
Oh
now.
wow, nice. What film is that?
By the quality of those episodes, because that was not my team that day. But I will definitely say, once we did that episode and all the actors, they came to my home and I interviewed them. That's when it's like all of my buddies from out the woodworks came.
Yeah.
And even then, one of my buddies in the UK, he called me, and now with Opulence Pictures. So if you look at my IMDb, you'll see why I have one, but I had to create one because like I'm being trained right now to be the head of the investment division for Opulence Pictures. And
Ooh,
so
wow.
all of the projects that we have, we deal primarily with pre-sales. Everything has A-list actors attached to everything. All the contracts, the trust agreements. And so we like making sure investors are paid their money. So we look at the numbers, and I am focused on all the money people. And so I want to make sure you guys have all the money you need to fund your projects. And I'm very happy being in this space because I'm learning a lot from what I'm hearing from the positives and the negatives about the industry. And I will say, and I don't care saying this on camera, it drives me crazy when it's like you guys work so hard. And sometimes when it comes down to distribution partners, where some people are not honest when it comes down to streaming numbers, and you're like, where's my money? And so it's kind of like when I think about ways of being transparent in the industry, there are things that I personally, if there's ways that I can contribute to shake things up where it's like people are paid their money so they can support their family and also keep on staying sustainable, that's how I would like to be a part.
That's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Well, when this call's over, I'll send you a very long email pitching you on why we just need a small 3 million. We've got an idea that could be a very fun film,
I'm really
commercially
excited.
successful. Yeah,
I'm really excited. Like
yeah.
you guys work really, really hard, and this quality is amazing. And I believe that there's a lot of stupid people right now that are famous. And I'm like, I think it's time to put new faces that are out there. And so again, I'm gonna say this out loud. Anybody that knows me, anybody that Googles me, like you will see that I am brand new into this industry, but
Yeah.
I will say behind the scenes, people know me as a fixer, and I love solving people's problems, and I love being a matchmaker. And so what I plan on doing is finding solutions where we can have access to funding, resources, classes, all sorts of things. 2025, it's about to be dope.
That's awesome. It's going to be a good year.
That's great. Yeah,
absolutely. Awesome. I want to stay in contact with you guys because
please do. Yeah.
I see a bright future with you guys, and you have my soul. But yeah. Is there anything that actually, you know what? Before we end this, I want to say something. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for entertaining people and making people laugh. And his film is such a wonderful outlet for that. And I've never considered myself an artist, more an entertainer. And I think laughter is a breath from the hard lives we live. And I'd love to be able to hopefully give that to at least one or two people, if not a lot.
I think it'll be a little bit more, but yeah, you're on the right track.
Sure.
I'll piggyback on that. I agree. I think sometimes like you have an idea that you think a lot of people would like and feel good watching, and we all love movies, or like we love a good book, we love a good TV show, we love a good music album. It just sort of like, I don't know, gives us a break, takes us somewhere else for a little bit of time. And I don't really care about it. It's like, in a way, I would love it to reach 1 billion people for the purposes of, I think it could make 1 billion people have a couple of hours of joy in their life. But also if it reached 50 and 50 people said, hey, that really made me happy for a couple of hours, that's also pretty awesome. So yeah, I think it's just kind of, make stuff that people like.
I think that's important. I'm telling you, the world is crazy right now, so we all need to laugh a little bit.
Exactly.
All need to laugh. And how can people stay in contact with you guys if they want to stay connected, if they want to partner, if they want to invest? Closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah. And I'll give them, I mean, Dan's got a cell phone. I'll we can post the number. No, I mean, we're both on, we're on social media. We don't do a lot of, I'm not the biggest fan of social media, but it exists, and you can find us there and message us or email us or,
You can ask me and then I'll send them to you.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
great.
I mean, we wish we could, we honestly, we were planning on coming to Houston, but unfortunately like a conflict came up and we can't, but we would love to
For the next one,
like, yeah, but so for the
we're gonna have
festival,
some mansion parties. I'm letting you know. We're gonna have
That's
some
good. That's what we
awesome
need.
mansion parties.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
that's the
I'm
only
gonna
kind of
do
party I
like-
do. Actually, yeah.
Like I say, I'm
I really
casual, but
only do
people laugh.
mansions.
yeah, no, yeah, the only parties I go to are in mansions. If you have an apartment party, then I'm not going to be there.
And then
You're
if
gonna
we're in
like
Europe,
this
it's,
one.
if Europe, we do a castle, which mansions are castles, or either.
Yes, of course, yes, yes.
Let me not put all my business on social media, but like I have some goals. I want to get some things. Just saying.
Yeah, that's great. Well, hit us up again. Once this call is over, we can really get to work and the three of us can come up with a way to make something awesome. But it's pretty sweet that you liked the short, and we're pretty very, very pumped to be part of the Houston
so cool.
Absolutely. I can't wait for everyone to see you guys. Share with all your friends and family. And yeah, this is gonna be good.
Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you guys later, okay?
You betcha.
Thank
Thank you so
you
much.
so much.
Take care.
Awesome. Bye.